Hey everyone, welcome back to Hollywood Buzzing, your go-to spot for all things trending in Tinseltown. Today, we're diving into a headline that has fans raising their eyebrows, and yes, jaws might drop a little. Courtney Thorne-Smith just made an appearance that left people speechless, and not for the reasons you might think. No, it's not about scandal or shock value. It's something far more powerful and, honestly, a bit refreshing in today's whirlwind of viral chaos. So, take a breath and try not to gasp, because what we're about to unpack is all about confidence, class, and redefining beauty on your own terms. Courtney Thorne-Smith, the talented actress we all remember from classic television hits like Melrose Place, Ally McBeal, and According to Jim, is once again making waves. But this time, it's not for a role or a TV return. Instead, it's her recent appearance at a high-profile Hollywood event that has people talking. At 56, she walked onto the red carpet and managed to steal the spotlight, not with theatrics or an over-the-top outfit, but simply by showing up as the best version of herself. Dressed in a sleek, elegantly tailored gown that flattered her frame perfectly, she turned heads in a way that had people both admiring and applauding. It wasn't just the dress. It was the way she carried herself. Poised, confident, and glowing from within, Courtney reminded everyone that beauty doesn't have an expiration date. What's more impressive than the fashion moment was the message it delivered, subtly but powerfully. It wasn't about trying to look younger. It wasn't about keeping up with trends. It was about standing tall in her own story, in her own skin, and showing the world that aging isn't something to hide or fear. It's something to celebrate. And when she stepped onto that red carpet, it was clear she wasn't trying to fit into anyone else's box of expectations. She redefined the box entirely. Now, let's talk about the reaction because social media had plenty to say. Fans and even fellow celebrities took to their platforms to shower Courtney with love. Words like iconic, elegant, and radiant were tossed around like confetti, and honestly, every bit of it felt deserved. There was a genuine wave of support and admiration that didn't feel forced or PR staged. People loved seeing someone real, someone who's been a familiar face in Hollywood for decades, reminding us all that aging can be empowering, not something to hide, but something to own with grace and confidence. It's rare in this day and age to see a celebrity make such an impact without relying on some outrageous gimmick or shocking reveal. That's never been Courtney's style, and it shows. She's always flown a little under the radar compared to some of her contemporaries, never chasing controversy for the sake of staying in the headlines. That approach has given her a kind of timeless appeal. She's never needed to reinvent herself for relevance because she's always stayed true to who she is. For fans who grew up watching her on screen, this moment was more than just a red carpet appearance. It was a reminder of why they loved her in the first place. She's that rare mix of grounded and glamorous, someone who can light up a room without shouting for attention. There's a sincerity to her presence that you just can't fake. And in a world full of curated images and filtered perfection, that kind of authenticity feels revolutionary. It's also worth noting that this moment speaks volumes about how we perceive beauty, especially in women over 50. Hollywood hasn't always been kind in this department. Too often, aging actresses are quietly pushed aside or feel pressure to drastically change their appearance to stay in the game. But Courtney's appearance said something else entirely. It said, "I'm still here. I'm still me." And that's more than enough. It was powerful. It was real. And it resonated with a lot of people. Let's not forget the impact she's had over the years. Whether you remember her as Allison Parker navigating drama on Melrose Place, as Georgia Thomas with her razor-sharp wit in Ally McBeal, or the lovable Cheryl on According to Jim, Courtney has always brought something special to the screen. Her characters have spanned genres, tones, and eras. But what's consistent is the warmth and relatability she brings to every role. She's always played characters that feel lived in, human, and complex, and maybe that's why fans feel such a strong connection to her. So, seeing her thrive in real life, looking strong and radiant, feels like a full-circle moment. Now, while everyone is buzzing about the look, let's also talk about what we didn't see. No excessive makeup, no overdone styling, no attempts to dramatically alter her natural features. She looked like herself. And that might be the most inspiring part of all. She embraced her natural beauty, leaned into her own style, and radiated the kind of confidence that doesn't come from a stylist's advice. It comes from years of experience, growth, and self-acceptance. In the age of viral trends and fleeting fame, Courtney Thorne-Smith gave us something lasting, a reminder that style is about self-expression, not conformity. That beauty comes in many forms, especially when it's grounded in authenticity. That confidence doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. Sometimes, it's as simple as walking into a room knowing exactly who you are and refusing to shrink for anyone else's comfort. And really, that's what made this moment so unforgettable. It wasn't just a red carpet look, it was a statement. A quiet, elegant, breathtaking statement that said, "You don't have to fade to be graceful." If anything, Courtney is shining brighter than ever, and doing it on her own terms. She didn't show it all in the way tabloids might imply. She showed us what true self-assurance looks like. And maybe that's why people couldn't stop talking. It wasn't just the outfit, it was the attitude. The presence. The unapologetic glow of a woman completely at peace with who she is. There's a lesson in that for all of us. In a world that's constantly telling women to change, to conceal, to compete, Courtney showed us a different path. One of authenticity, of embracing change rather than fearing it, of showing up, not to impress, but simply to express. It's not about turning back the clock. It's about moving forward with grace, confidence, and a touch of sparkle. That's not just beautiful, that's powerful. So, as the internet continues to buzz and headlines spin their takes, let's take a step back and appreciate what this moment really was. It was a celebration of individuality. A tribute to a woman who stayed true to herself in an industry that constantly tries to shape people into something else. The presence. The unapologetic glow of a woman completely at peace with who she is. There's a lesson in that for all of us. In a world that's constantly telling women to change, to conceal, to compete, Courtney showed us a different path. One of authenticity, of embracing change rather than fearing it, of showing up, not to impress, but simply to express. It's not about turning back the clock. It's about moving forward with grace, confidence, and a touch of sparkle. That's not just beautiful, that's powerful. So, as the internet continues to buzz and headlines spin their takes, let's take a step back and appreciate what this moment really was. It was a celebration of individuality. A tribute to a woman who stayed true to herself in an industry that constantly tries to shape people into something else. And above all, it was a reminder that elegance, grace, and self-worth never go out of style. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into a Hollywood moment that didn't just break the internet, it elevated the conversation. If you enjoyed this spotlight on confidence, class, and timeless charm, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that highlight the heart behind the headlines. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and stay unapologetically you, just like Courtney.